Ladies and gentlemen, how are you all going? Any moment now, Matt Mask will be joining. He's just a little bit busy at the moment, so don't worry. But I still had to go live. We're just any moment now, Matt will come into the chat. So, yeah, it'll be really good, but I just had to go live. I didn't want to change the times or anything. And, yeah, it'll be really good, but rest assured, the big fella will come in, so you do not have to worry. So let me just thank a few Dead Set legends whilst we are all here in the chat having a good laugh. I'd love to thank my Patreon bangers for just as little as 50 cents a week. You choose how much you'd like. All of these superstars helping out. You get some behind the scenes footage and whatnot about everything that is going on in the arm wrestling world of the Aussie Arm Wrestler. And then, of course, my YouTube bangers. All of these members, I believe it's $4 or $5 a month. That's all. Helps fund the Aussie Arm Wrestler and keeps hanging and banging going from there. As I have plenty of superstars that are willing to help. And I've got plenty in the chat at the moment, as you can see, is all happening. Never fear. It shouldn't be too long. I've told him. I've sent him the link. He just needs to click the link, and hopefully he'll jump on. We confirmed all the times and everything, so any moment, hopefully Matt Mask just sneaks in here on the chat. I've got my Facebook and everything open in case he needs to message me and jump on. We confirmed the times, so we will have to... we won't be too long. But in the meantime, we'll have a bit of fun. Enwill 80kg says, Aussie, you legend. He's sending me a Rockstar WrestleMania shirt. He was just at WrestleMania, and he's sending me a shirt. Yeah, we're going to talk about a few things, but then, of course, at the beat, we'll get some questions going. We've got a poll in the chat. So hopefully Matt Mask won't be too much longer. I've just told him to click on the link and jump into the chat. I know he's a busy man and helping us out, but he appears to have, but that's all right. We will rock and roll, and we'll keep going. This is the first time this has happened, so we will just roll with the punches. Here we go. Look at this.
Alrighty.
What a bloody
technical difficulties there.
Sweat. And everyone's panicking. They're like, where is that big lumberjack? But now we've got him here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ready Bang, the #1 arm wrestling live stream in the world, of course. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler. And as always, I am your Melbourne Cup 2019 left arm 80 to 95 kilo amateur getter. The most sought after trophy in the arm wrestling world. And if you do not know who my guest is, then you do not know arm wrestling. This man gets paid to eat chicken wings with his friend Devon and made an absolute fortune. He arm wrestles at oil rigs. He arm wrestles on lakes. That's how tough this son of a gun is, and his passion for arm wrestling is the best for arm wrestling memes. But always take this man serious when he's on the table. And I'm talking about the Wildhorse Matt Mask. Matt, my man, thank you very much for your time.
How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, super excited. Always good to catch up with you because you are one busy man. But before we get into all that, I've got to ask. It's a big question everyone wants to know. Is it harder to arm wrestle on an oil rig, or is it harder to arm wrestle on a lake?
The lake was a little better. My arms weren't as sore. Devin wasn't as strong. It wasn't as cold, so it wasn't as a shock to the muscles when we started to grip up. But I'd say on a drilling rig is harder, right? It's harder in every aspect, no matter what way you look at it. It's just fucking harder.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're arm wrestling, Devon's always going to be hard. But yeah, I don't think you can get any more manlier than pulling on an oil rig and on a lake. So that was a bit of fun. But before we get into all the niceties and we get into people in the chat, you owe me an apology, and a big apology. We'll get the awkwardness out the way. A year ago, or over a year ago, you came on the show. We shoot the shit. It was one of my best episodes, and then I make a video. Why Matt Mask beats Hermes Gasparini. I was confident. You were confident at East versus West once. I still get trolled for that video.
Yeah, that's okay. I still get trolled for it too. You should see some of the emails I get.
I mean, if I get it, a little own, arm wrestling podcast dude from Melbourne, I can't imagine how you get. I was sitting there and like people are really, because now I'm just going out of my way not to pick Hermes just for a bit of fun. But it was, I was just like, bloody hell. But you can redeem yourself for me. I have a bet with Uncle John. I'm putting waxing my nose hairs on the line to his slit. You have to get the first 4 pins on Tim Bresnan.
That's kind of my plan. So I want it to be an easy day. Okay? I need an easy day.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's get right into that, because I've got a poll. I've got a poll happening at the moment. Where's the poll here? There. Everyone's asking. I've asked everyone what Matt Mask match is everyone most excited about, and at the moment the Prudnick match is leading at 58%. But thank you, Cooper Maxwell. He gives us a ready bang at the moment. For some reason, I can't get his one up on the screen, but everyone, even like Big Frank, he's pretty excited, and he knows I'm here, guy. No, where was it? Where's your one? Big Frank says, I'm going to win. That's going to win. That's what we want. Everyone's up and about. So how does this Tim Bresnan match come about? Do you go and attack Tim Bresnan? Does Tim call you out? Is it a promoter thing?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was any attack on either side. I think it was more just misunderstanding or whatever. Tim was on a show with Evan Borgen. They were talking about Canadian arm wrestlers or who would you like to pull. And then he came on saying, apparently I've been ducking them for the last so many years. So I jumped on the show and it was, no, haven't been ducking you, just the 2 or 3 times that we were supposed to set up the poll. A couple of the times I wasn't able to make it, a couple of times he had previous engagements, just the way it works sometimes. So, but anyways, he was supposed to have a match. They wanted to use him for one of Sean Hancock's events. And Sean asked him who he'd like to pull, and that was fresh in his mind because we had gone back and forth about it a few times in the past. So he's somebody I actually wanted to pull for probably the last, I'd say, 6 years, 5 to 7 years, anyways. So.
Yeah, I do find it funny. A lot of people, not these dead set legends that are watching us, but I do love how people sit there and they go, right. Like I'm not sure if they understand arm wrestling. You work on an oil rig. You have a lovely family. You've got beautiful kids. You live in Canada, so you can't just and even as little as 2-3 years ago, you weren't getting the biggest money. Let's be honest, you weren't getting the biggest money to pull in arm wrestling. So for anyone to say someone that is 6'5", 250 pounds is ducking people, the guy's fingers are bent in 7 different ways. Matt Mask isn't ducking anyone.
Yeah, there's not a person on this planet I'm scared to pull. Obviously, there's more people I'm more nervous to pull, but I'd pull anybody as long as the time permits. It doesn't matter who they are. If it works out for me and it's going to be in my favor, then I'm there. So
yeah. Beautiful. And Marcus Thompson, appreciate you with your super chat. He says, we need to see you shut Mr. Gabagool's Hermes up round 3. He wants you to just get your revenge back and have a deciding, because you won the first one, he won the second one, and now that giant Hermes. Well, is there talks about a third match between you two?
There was in the past. Like, it hasn't been recent. Like, we haven't talked about it, haven't discussed it with his manager or anybody else. But there's whispers in the background all the time, right? So it's, you never know. It's going to happen. Eventually it's going to happen, but it's just a matter of when. But yeah, the biggest thing is I got to get through Tim first. Everybody's talking about, oh, Prudnick, and oh, you got this match here. It's like, I don't even care about the other matches right now. The only match I really care about right now is I just got to get Tim, right? So
Yeah.
Tim's the only thing I'm concentrating on right now, because he can fuck me for everything else I have coming up after that, right? So, and he's not somebody that, you know, anybody for the slightest mind seem to think that, you know, it's going to be an easy, clean sweep against Tim Bresnan. No matter who you are, it's, you know, he's going to be showing up to bang. So, yeah.
Well, I kind of need it to be a clean sweep. Otherwise, I've got to feel myself waxing my nose hairs. So I'm on you to win the first 4 rounds. So otherwise, we've got beef again.
Well, that's really what I want. I want to get the first 4 out of the way, and then I can have some fun after if it works out. Because I need to get home and I need to start training again right after, right? So.
Wow. We'll get through your 114 matches you've got booked for this year. We'll get through them. You are a busy man, which we love. Retro Roster Gaming, thank you very much for your super chat. He says, why do both of you guys hairlines of 90-year-old men? Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I got a pretty piss poor hairline. That's all right.
When you have as many daughters as me, we'll talk.
Retro Roster, let us know in the comments. Have you got any daughters, mate? Because Matt you have 3, 4, 3?
3 daughters.
3 daughters. So 3 daughters, and then trying to arm wrestle. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Teenage daughters. That's it. That's all I need to say.
I could only imagine. I'm about to have a daughter. I'm about to have a daughter come June 10th. So you'll have to give me some tips how to, you know, not go insane.
Honestly, it's just shut up. Right? Smile.
Brooksy wants to know if you're his dad. That's a weird question. If you're just asking, Retro Ricer has 1 daughter. Is it a teenage daughter, Retro? Is it a teenage daughter? He's got 1. So if you don't know, guys, this weekend, of course, the Aussie arm wrestler who's calling the action, Matt Mask, is going to just mid-match. This is how I picture it. Mid-match, you got to top roll him. You got to stick that out, and then you got to cop an elbow foul, and you just got to reach the glasses off Tim Bresnan and just put them on yourself mid-match. How much would that cost for you to do that mid-match?
I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I think it cost me a kidney, because I probably got stabbed in the alley when I walked out of the place.
He would be big. Retro Roster, fair point on teenage daughters. I will let you slide. Okay, you've got a pass from Retro Roster. Fair enough. So Vegas this weekend. Is it just one of those fly-in, fly-outs? Are you going to give yourself some time at the event, or are you just one and done? Get in, pin me, pay him.
No, I'm gonna stick around. Like, I'll stick around, hang out with everybody. Gonna spend an extra day in Vegas. Go check out a few things. Like, me and the wife are going down, and we're just gonna going down the day before, pull that day, hang out for a day, and then come back to reality. Right?
And geez, what a reality it has been. First of all, East versus West. You were at the first East versus West. We all know what happened there. Don't need to talk about it. Only because I'm a big, massive fan. East versus West now in May. You are going bang. Morozov, Prudnick. Which one are you more pumped up for?
Honestly, I'm not even really thinking about that right now. It was, hey, can you make it on this? I looked at my schedule. I was able to make some days work, and we're able to make it. So I says, yeah, I'll be there. So it wasn't even, like, obviously it started off with Artem, and then I was supposed to bolt Tobias in the right arm. And then, Prudnick was looking for a match, and Egan asked me what I thought about Prudnick. And he says, would I be ready to pull him, or would I be willing to pull him? And I says, I really don't care who the hell it is. You line him up, and I'll do what I can do. So I says, yeah, I'd pull Prudnick. So then it turned into Prudnick.
like we'll get to dive more into that match in a moment, but being a world-class athlete, the way you are, let's call a spade. I'm not going to piss in your pocket or suck up, but you are a world-class athlete. What's your time frame? So if I'm sitting there and I go, right, Matt, I've got such and such big massive dude here ready to pull you, another world-class athlete, what's your time frame where you feel ready to give your best and win?
Honestly, it all depends on what else I got going on in my life, how busy work is, like projects or anything else I'm gonna be doing at the same time, right? But I would say like committed 3 to 4 months, right to where I want to be. So yeah. Like fully committed, 3-4 months. I'm starting to feel good. Like I'm not quite where I was in the past for strength wise. I don't feel this is the biggest, strongest version of myself right now, but I feel another month or so down the road that it's coming, right? So.
Oh, Tim Breslin's getting off lucky if you don't feel your strongest now, but I do feel sorry for those Europeans. Cooper Maxwell, really appreciate your super chat. I'm going to save this question for the end of the show. I've got about 45 minutes or an hour of Matt's time. He's very busy and I'm very grateful, but we will get there. So have a think of this one. Have a think about it, Matt. You know, Devon versus Levan. We're going to get to that a little bit.
Think about for that. So. Yeah.
Matt, Tickle My Limits, Larrett, one of the best YouTube names going around. Matt Mask is a beast, my guy. Can't wait to see him go smash. Thank you very much for your super chat. The Drew wants to know if you're going to have an after pool with Spotto.
What's that?
If you're going to have an after pool with Eric Spotto at his gym in Vegas.
Like during the tournament, you mean, or on the after table afterwards?
Maybe the after table.
It all depends. Honestly, everything depends on how it goes with Tim. Like if I'm feeling tweaked, then I'm probably going to avoid the after table a bit and kind of work on getting healed up, just because I do have a busy schedule in the following month after. Wow. So it all depends. But like if I'm feeling good, then and I'm able to, I'll fucking pull all night long. So it all depends on how everything's feeling. So I can't really commit to anything right now, right? I'm kind of a John Wayne seat of my pants kind of guy, right? So
yeah, you've got to hold on to that cannon because it's making you a lot of money and you got some big matches. Retro Ricer Gaming says, one in the bum, no harm done. That was there you go, mate. And he goes, yeah, Travis Beckley, thank you very much. He is like, did Matt ever figure out who stole the tools out of his truck?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh.
I never did.
Wow.
Apparently they caught the guy, but apparently they don't do follow-up reports or anything here in Canada
there you go.
They end up catching him. So apparently they caught him the following day because I posted a video on Facebook. That's obviously how he knows about it. And
it would have been way better if you got to catch him. That would have been way better. How good would that footage be?
I really wanted to. So I really was. I did a little sleepover that night in the garage. And I was just hoping he was going to show up, right?
The balls on him, that's for sure. Everyone's wanting in the chat wanting to know how's your left arm? How's your left arm compared to your right arm? How's that feeling?
Right now, not good. Yeah. Right now, it's nowhere where my right is. If I rested for a period of time, then yeah, I'm good for about 1 or 2 good pulls. But like where it is right now, it's a slow build-up. It's something that I'm actually really gonna have to nurse leading up to May. So like I'm not really gonna be pushing it too hard. I'm just gonna baby it. When it's on, it's on. It surprises the hell out of me sometimes. But I got a real small window when it's on. And then usually after it's on and I feel real good, I'll push myself, and then for about 3 months, it's just shit again. So I'm trying to time it out perfectly. So it's on for May 21st when I go to Pole Arden. So
yeah, it's got to build up there. Yeah, left arm and right arm, that they're going to be monsters, because I don't think people realize you were actually supposed to pull Morozov late last year in November. He was going to come over here.
That was supposed to be in the radar, though.
Yeah. Were you going to smash him right arm? Were you going to smash him?
Well, I sure hope so. I hope I smash everybody that steps across the table from me, right? So, yeah. I was a lot more confident at the time with my right than I am going into it with my left. But just that much more. Usually, I find usually the harder task it is, where I feel the harder task it is, I usually show up better. So it just gives me more of a reason to push harder and just to try to make sure everything's ready to go for that time, right? So,
yeah. I mean, you're a pretty laid back guy, so I pretty much know the answer. But when Engen rings you and he goes, right, I've got a right arm match and a left arm match, and you're rock solid, it's in your mind, here we go. Then does it bother you at all when it gets flipped? Because it was supposed to be Artem Morozov right arm, Tobias left arm, and then it got changed where you were going to pull. You're pulling Prudnik now, which that is a saucy burger of a match. But does that bother you at all mentally? How does all that go?
No, because like I said, honestly, I wasn't even. It was just, would I be willing to pull that person? Yes, and it's not even really on the top of my mind right now. I'm more thinking about my first match I have coming up that's going to be against him, right? So it's not even, didn't piss me off. It was just like, yeah, that's cool. I thought about it for a second. As soon as he said, I'm like, fuck, that's a bad motherfucker, right? Like that's a bad dude. So, and it was, I thought about it and I was like, man, like, would I like to see that match? I was like, man, that would be a pretty good fucking match. So I'm like, yeah, I'd pull fucking Prudnik, right? Like, so.
Oh, that's gonna be saucy. As Ryan Blue Bowen is coming with a super chat, thank you very much. He asked, Wildhorse, how far off a full-time career arm wrestler are you? Is that something that you're aiming for? Because your YouTube channel goes bananas. Whenever you can be bothered posting content, it goes bananas, and it's very entertaining.
Sure, I'd love to be able to have that opportunity, but it's not. Too many demands where I don't think I'd make enough to be able to do it, and I need to have more on the go. I can't. If I just did arm wrestling, nothing but arm wrestling, I'd still lose my mind. I'd still be working on the other little projects and little side things I got on the go, right? But like as for, I wouldn't need to get up at 2:00 in the morning and hit the road to go to work when I got a phone call, then yeah, that'd be great. You know what I mean? But I just can't see it. I just can't see it anytime soon. I'm just trying to have fun with it, right? So
yeah,
that's all. It's just trying to have fun.
And that's what draws everyone to your channel. Like I couldn't believe it. I jumped in and like you and Devin were just eating. And everyone was watching. You guys were just having something to eat. And everyone was up and about watching. And because you guys are just having fun, it draws people in. Marcus Thompson wants to see a Matt Mask versus Prudnik in a sing-off.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Might as well do a dance-off.
Yeah. And Phil Woody, UK, I think he's hit the nail on the head. Let's be honest with ourselves, Matt. You won't be able to go a full-time arm wrestler. You have to, because oil rigs pay pretty well. It's because you got 3 daughters' weddings to pay for.
Yeah, we'll worry about that when the time comes.
Yeah. That means never. Cooper Maxwell and everyone wanting to know Cooper's Maxwell, do not worry about that. We will get to it. Matt, can you give everyone an insight, because you've done the East versus West travel before? What are the pros and especially the cons from you pulling in Red Deer at a Red Deer event, or even in the States, for you flying to Turkey and pulling someone? What are the cons? Does it affect someone like you at all?
If you get jammed into a sardine can for about 16 to 17 hours and then open up and expect you're going to perform great within the next day or two. No, it's a matter of, like, that was probably the furthest I've ever traveled for an event. So a little bit of a learning curve. I think this time I'm going to try to show up at least 4 to 5 days prior to. But even then, like, I didn't really have too much jet lag by the time I went to compete. It was just the way it worked out, right? So.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's all right then. But it's obviously you don't you don't mind it, because you're going to go get it again. You're going to go get it again.
Honestly, if you would have asked me about within 2 to 3 months after I got back the first time, I would have probably told him to go fuck himself. just because of the fucking nightmare I went through on the way back and on the way there in the airport and everything. It was, at the time, I'm hoping everything's kind of settled off a little bit now since that last trip. But yeah, like, if it's anything like that, I don't know if I'm going to make it back to Canada. So I don't know if I have enough patience to live through one more of those. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm only 5'10.5". So, mate, my feet don't even touch the ground at an airport. I got all the leg room in the world. You're 6'5". I cannot imagine what it's like with no leg room for 17 hours. Retro Ricer again. Geez, everyone's on about the 3 weddings. Does having to pay for 3 weddings motivate you to train harder and earn some dollars?
No, honestly, because we'll just do a backyard wedding.
A backyard wedding. I'll tell you what, you've also one match that I'm very excited about, and we'll give it a big pump up later on in the year. But come September, you are looking for revenge on Lars Rabakin. Is that still all kosher? Still all going ahead?
Yeah, that's still going to happen. Yeah.
Mate, yeah. That is unbelievable. Who made this match? Was it you chasing a loss? For those that don't know, they had a really interesting matchup in Arm Wars. Do not let the scoreline fool you. It was a ripper matchup. Did you go and chase this? Did Lars want to pull you again? How did this one come about?
No, Magda with the Canadian PAL kind of reached out and just said, hey, how would you feel about a match with Lars September 3rd? And I said, yeah, what does it entail? And what are we looking at? Where is it going to be held? And she said, and I said, sure. So that's kind of how it went. So I figured 2022, this is after the last couple of years that's happened. I said, screw it. I said, I'm going to start putting a little more effort, built a new shop, like for a training facility and everything else in this. I'm going to start hitting hard, and I'm going to start taking on every single match that I can this year. So
yeah. You got to we've all got a lot of lost time.
As long as I can stay injury free, I'm just going to try to keep pushing ahead. So
all righty. Now before we get into other stuff, because you've got another match with Big Rick, but everyone's talking about Devon. So we're going to go back to Cooper Maxwell. He says, having pulled Devon recently, what's your thoughts on his chance against Levan? Ready bang, #Wildhorse.
See, that's like, honestly, like where he was when he came down to train with where he's going to be when he actually gets his name called to the table with Levan standing across from him are going to be 2 completely different human beings, right? and the man that I felt when he came up to train this time About probably 2 months prior to when he went to go pull Michael Todd, this man, the most recent Devin, was way stronger than any other Devin I've ever gripped up before. Like, it's just a completely, it's not even, honestly, this version of Devin, I believe, that's coming into pull Levon would probably crush the version of Devin that went in to pull Michael Todd.
Wow.
So, like,
big pull.
Just everything. Like, he was like, just how everything's coming together for him, like, for connected, staying centered, not opening up as much. Like, he's by far, he's in way better shape and way stronger and a way better position than he was when he went to go pull Michael last time, and compared to this time. Like, it's crazy. It's not even comparable. So, and to think that we still got like 2.5, 3 months to go is, yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, it's end of June, and you're saying that now with 3 months to go. So then, Wildhorse Matt Mask, the big question is, will Devin beat Levon?
Honestly, I've never felt Levon. Like, I've seen video of Levon, and yeah, Levon looks like a freak, but I've seen people that look like freaks, and Devin do shit to them too. And this version of Devin is unlike any other version that's ever walked the planet before. So yeah, like, I think that, I don't think he's going to come in and he's just going to dominate him. I feel that it's going to be a very thin line. He's got a small window where he's going to be able to crack him, and he's going to be able to capitalize on it. But I think if there's anybody that can do it, I honestly feel that he's probably the guy that's going to be able to do it with the version I felt of him just recently. So,
bang, yeah,
like, if I had to put money on the match, if I was going to bet on it, and I had to put money on the match, I would bet on Devin. And I wouldn't, it wouldn't be like a 4-0, it would be like a 4-3 kind of scenario.
Baller. So you put your money on your friend Devin. Wow.
Yeah.
Love it.
And that's only because I got the inside scoop, right?
Yeah, and I think that's why everyone is tuning in, because they want to hear about your matches and everything, but also a bit of inside scoop. And Ryan Blue Bowen, thanks you for your super chat. He asks, can Hermes beat Devin?
Can Hermes beat Devin? See, that's the thing. I think there's a lot of people on this planet that can beat Devin. If all these people showed up on the same day and we ran a tournament, Devin might not come top 3. But if you took any one of those people and you said you guys are going to pull 6 fucking rounds to the death, I think it's a completely different situation. So, and in order to get like for the Devin that's going to be pulling Levon, can Hermes beat that Devin? No. I would put cash that no, Hermes probably could not beat that Devin. Hermes might get a pin on that Devin, but that would probably be it. So,
mate, you couldn't have answered that any better. That was a ripper. Retro Ricer wants to know if you could beat Ryan Blue Bowen.
Who the fuck is Ryan Blue Bowen? I never heard of her before.
Oh, wow. Why are you going to do a guy like that?
I'm just kidding. I would fucking crack that motherfucker's hand back quicker than you can say Shamu. Like, Ryan knows that. I know that. Everybody else out there knows that. Next question.
Well, how can we get you to Australia to win 10 grand? We've got the over the top tournament, 10 grand to the Right Hand Open winner, biggest one in Australia at the end of the month. How can we get Matt Mask there It's in the Gold Coast.
The end of this month?
End of this month.
Oh, fuck, bud. I got too much shit to do and not enough time. that I can guarantee you I could not make.
Damn, would have been awesome to get you over there. But Ryan wants to know, when will you and Hermes? We spoke about it a little bit earlier, Ryan, but if you just want to reiterate, when will you and Hermes complete the trilogy?
I'm not sure yet, so we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm gonna say sometime between now and 2027.
Yeah, there'll be an Olympic Games in between, is what Matt is saying, and they're all having a bit of fun. And Big Frank absolutely loves you. He says,
honestly, it's a pity match right now for Hermes to even want to pull me right now. It'd be a fucking pity match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've got a few leaps and bounds. Like Hermes has proved himself, not just because he kicked my ass, but over his last couple matches. Like he's showing up to the table. He's taking names. He's fucking kicking asses, right? Like for me to be like, hey, Hermes, I want to pull you again now. Like it's like, no, I gotta kind of get out there and, you know, I gotta take a few names and kick a few asses myself before it's even worthwhile for him to even fucking look at me right now, right? Like Hermes right now is just looking up. Like he's not even looking sideways right now. He's just fucking looking up. Like, and I'm sitting down here, way the fuck down here, going, hey, you know what I mean? Like, why the fuck would he even want a match with me right now? So, now he doesn't want one, but in a couple months from now, 3-4 months from now, he's probably going to want a match. So, but
yeah, it would, and I think it would just be more, and it's 100% what you were saying. It'd probably be more looking at, it would just be money. It would just have to be the right money. If it was in the next 3 months, you and Hermes, it would basically come down to money. A lot of people just showing.
He has, like, for him to want to pull me right now, it's not even worth it. Unless he just wants to shut up our little bout we got going on because we're 1-1 and figures right now is the best time to get him. Okay, let's just have a match. Get it over with, right? Yeah. Other than that, like, realistically, he's not even thinking about me right now, right? So he's trying to fucking climb that ladder, right? So
and one guy that's trying to climb the ladder is Big Rick. Big Rick, you've got a match. When is it? May. You've got a match in May with Big Rick. Write his last name down. Heidenbright. Yeah,
Heidenbright. I'm probably butchering it too, so don't quote me. I'm the worst person for pronouncing anybody's fucking name. So
we'll just call him Big Rick. How do you feel waltzing in and taking everyone's money like that? I mean, he's a big guy, 6'7", 270, but like I can't see it going any way but a clean sweep to you.
Well, I see, like, Rick is one of them guys that's just a big unknown, right? Like, he could have been sitting in his basement for the last 8 fucking months doing wrist curls, right? He's got the frame of a fucking ogre. You know what I mean? Like the dude, he's not a small man. He's like 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
He used to be over 300 pounds. I guess now he's trimmed himself up and he's working on getting massive again. But like, who knows, right? Like, who knows where he's at, right? So, but
it would be interesting to see.
Somebody like Rick, like in the past, just from what I've noticed is, you know, a lot of them longer, taller guys, I sometimes tend to have troubles with, right? So just stylistically kind of thing, I'm used to kind of being the guy with one of the longer leverages, right? So, and Rick is right up there. Who knows, right? Like, who knows what's going to happen there? So
I do. You're going to win. Yeah.
Well, I want to go with you on that one too. Right?
No disrespect to Big Rick, but yeah.
Way, right? So
Yeah, you gotta go out and get a pull Tim Bresnan. You gotta win that one. Then you gotta have a bit of a warm up with Big Rick. Go in, take all their money, say thanks for letting me turn
well,
up.
we're gonna
And
do
then
like I'm gonna do a little RV tour along the way too, right? Like me and Buddy are gonna hop in the RV and we're gonna travel across Canada, stop at a couple clubs along the way, probably pull with some of them, pull Rick, pull with Devin, and then taper down for May, right? So
for East versus West, going to be massive. It's I mean, if you're not already, just a quick recap, guys. You got to get the Arm Bets pay-per-view if you want to watch Matt Mask absolutely dominate over Tim Breslin. That's my tip. I've got him winning the first 4 rounds, easy peasy, lemon squeezy for that one. So make sure armbets.tv. It's the same event as Michael Todd and Ryan Espy on the left arm, and there's 2 other awesome super matches there. So make sure you support it because, Matt Mask is a pay-per-view arm wrestler. So buy the pay-per-view and go out and smash it there. So make sure you do that. Now, a member of the channel, he's at work at the moment, wasn't able to tune in. Hollywood Matt Connolly, and he's asked me, he wants to know, past and future, what's the most fired up you've ever had a match for, where a match has been booked and you have just felt all the hairs on your head have exploded, your balls are tingling. Is there anything, we'll start with the past, that you've just sat there and you've turned into the Incredible Hulk, lost your shit because you're so fired up for the match?
Pretty much every match I get. So, yeah. So as I'm running it through in my head and I'm visualizing different scenarios, I get that same feeling. Like as long as obviously I feel that they're a threat, right? So, and everybody I believe that I've taken a match with so far this year is a threat. So,
yeah. What would be? Are you a big fan of the pay-per-view system that has been going on? Because you've been there in the dark times where you're pulling the best in the world in garages and car parks and paying for your own trips and food, and now we're getting a bit more money into the sport and the YouTube stuff. Are you a big fan of the pay-per-view system?
I'm a big fan of everything, as long as it isn't done too much. You know what I mean? Like you have every single tournament that goes on, there's one match in it that people may want to see, and it's a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? So it's I think all of it's great, but I think there's certain ones that it shouldn't have to, right? And you can see it in the numbers on some, right?
Yeah.
So,
But
there's certain ones where, absolutely, right? Like any of the East versus West, any of, like any of those big ones, anything like that, right? Like Core Sports, if WL was to get going doing some, UAL put on a massive event or something if they ever got going again, or a big PL event, absolutely, right? Like I'm all for those events being pay-per-view.
Okay, then speaking of some of those companies that you mentioned, Core Sports and WAL, have any of those been in contact with you about future events?
Yes and no. So, like, there's always talk behind the scenes. There's a few little, whispers, but nothing set in stone, right? Nothing that I'm able to talk about, anyways. So.
Okay. Oh, thought we might have got you to slip there.
And honestly, like I said, I haven't really, besides Hermes last year, I haven't really competed in 3 fucking years, right? So I need to get out there and start taking some names, right? I need to start proving myself. I need to start climbing the ladder again before, why the fuck would Core Sports want to, right? Like,
Oh,
until
mate,
they're like, holy
you're
shit.
entertaining as
Oh,
hell.
this
Why would they want you? You're
motherfucker's back.
entertaining.
You know what I mean? Look at him go. He's on a fucking tear. We got to get him in here, right? So
they know what you bring to the table. They know what you bring to the table. Arm wrestling fan is like, Carl Matty, I love him. There you go. I've told him. This dude.
I love you.
You got a huge fan base, and I'm sure everyone watching is subscribed to the Matt Mask channel. Entertaining as hell. Because where are we now? 45 minutes in. I know your time's limited. I'll try and wrap it up. The strap rule. This whole talk about the strap rule, it changed the king of the table. Devon's got particular strap rules, his idea of it. What's your thought on this whole strap rule situation?
I honestly think that it's nice with other leagues doing different rules, trying different things, and going different routes. To be honest with you, everybody's like, oh well, if WAF if they did this, or oh PAL they did this, they should be as strict as PAL. Well, then they'd be in the same fucking category as PAL. You know what I mean? Everybody would still be the same, and we'd all be sitting there fucking using rocks to get our fires fucking going, and nothing would change. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's fucking great. I think WAL starting off with everyone starting in the fucking ref script, thumbs down, close your hands, go, was fucking awesome. It was something different. You know what I mean? Like, sit there and watch somebody fucking foul out for 20 minutes just trying to get a fucking grip. Like, it's, yeah, I think it's fucking great. 90% of the fucking matches are going there. Like, one of the leagues wants to say, yeah, every match is starting in the fucking strap. If one league says every match is starting in the hook, and people are like, well, I don't really like that. I'm not good at the hook. I don't want to fucking pull in the hook. Well, then don't pull in that fucking league. Pull in the league where you start in the fucking top rope. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's great. I think it's fucking awesome. Let's try everything out. You know what I mean? And if we're going to pull and we're going to start in the strap, then I'll start in the strap. If we're going to do a WL setup, then I'll figure out and I'll train for WL. If we're going to pull PAL rules, well, then I'll adapt and I'll fucking pull the PAL rules, right? Like, so I think it's great that different leagues are trying to do different things. And then you got the same group always say, well, it's got to be like that. Why? Where does it say that this is what it has to be? You know what I mean? Why can't they do something different? Like they're putting the fucking money up. They can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. You don't want to pull that way, then don't fucking partake in one of their events. But chances are you're probably gonna be the same person. Well, why didn't they fucking call me? You know what I mean? I'd love to fucking be up there fucking pulling at that fucking level, right? Like, so yeah.
Preach!
Embrace it all.
Welcome to the Church of Mars.
Embrace it all. Hey?
Yeah. I am 100% with you. I'm the same all the time. Everyone whinges about the King's move. Everyone whinges about straps and things like that. Start your own league. Run your own competition that's an anti-King's move or an anti-straps. I love it. If arm wrestlers agree to start in a strap, then that's cool. I prefer, like the WAL, just let them just quickly grip up. Like sitting there for 30, 40 seconds and then all that piss farting around, it's ridiculous. I don't like it. Dane Cowan thinks that you get to crush Prudnick, which is going to be good. And Corey Cook is, if Matt beats Prudnick, I'll be popping collars and broing down. He's pretty. You got to pop him. Absolutely. You got to get the strut on. And Marcus Thompson says, who cares? It's all about winning. Well, absolutely. Things are a lot easier when you are winning. That is for sure. Now, while I've got you on, Matt, of course you come on the show. Everyone's got to play arm wrestling's favorite game. It is pin one, lose one, and get rid of one. I'm going to give you the name of 3 pullers. And you've got to tell me which one you're going to pin, which one you're going to lose to, and which one you are telling, No more arm wrestling in 2022. And while I give you those names, Retro Roster, shut up. He's like, can you watch your language, please? Shut up. No, he's a huge supporter.
You don't like the rules, go pull somewhere else.
Retro Ross, a huge supporter of the channel. Alrighty, so he's great. He's always good with the banter. We've got Tim Bresnan, Morozov, and Prudnik. 3 opponents. So now you have to tell me which one you're going to pin, which one you're going to lose to, and which one you are telling, don't worry about it, take the rest of the year off, you're weak as piss.
Well, Tim, because that's all I'm really thinking about right now, so obviously pin. Right?
Yeah.
Morozov, if I look down to my left right now, I'd say, well, I'm going to lose. So right now, right? And Evgeny Prudnik, well, he's got a lot of other shit in the back of his mind besides just mine and his arm wrestling match. So I'd say you take the rest of the year off, my friend.
Oh, wow. I did not see it going that way. You just told one of the best pound-for-pound arm wrestlers to have the rest of the year off. That is hilarious. That's awesome. That is so good. Thank you very much for hanging us out in the chat. Matt, whenever you've got to go, mate, you just jump off the call. I know you're a busy man and really appreciate the time. Guys, probably a couple of more minutes. If you've got any questions in for the Wildhorse Matt Mask, but you've got to understand he has a massive match. I wanted to get on and really reiterate how excited I am for his match with Tim Bresnan. Not only his East versus West matches, but as you can see, the man only takes it one match at a time, and he is absolutely ready. He is jacked for it, and he's going to scream at the end of the table, and he's guaranteed that he's going to take Tim Bresnan's glasses off mid-round and put them on when he gets his first pin. So if anyone's got anything to say. One thing I want to know, Matt, how do you celebrate wins?
I don't really try to just let it go, right? It just kind of happens. So, like, you mean the night after or whatever?
Yeah, let's say later on that night or the next night, you know. So like you're going to Vegas, you'll have your wife there and you get the big win over Tim, you do all the after pull on that. Then how are you celebrating that night or the next day?
I'm probably gonna get in shit for this one, but ready, bang!
Yeah! Yeah. What a superstar, mate. That is the only way to celebrate it. That's how that's how you got 3 daughters, and that's how I'm better get my first one. When you when you celebrate with a proper ready bang, and everyone is just on you. They reckon Matt's going to crush Tim. Dane Cowan agrees with a ready bang. That is the only way to do it. Guys, I'm happy to stay on the live broadcast, but Matt will have to go any minute now. I really appreciate your time, Matt. You've been nothing but a huge supporter of the Aussie arm wrestler. I really, really appreciate it. I cannot wait for you to crush Tim so I don't have to wax my nose hairs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not that bad, actually. It's not that bad. So.
Yeah. Well, just don't lose on purpose.
Yeah.
Sit there, look at the camera, and start playing with your nose after it. Really appreciate it, guys. We will say goodbye from there. Matt Mask is a genuine superstar, and we will see you guys real soon. I'll be calling the action